Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenny, and today I want to talk about my autumn knitting plans. I know I'm a little bit late to this bandwagon of fall autumn knitting plans videos. I started noticing them popping up on my YouTube feed for like at least, what is this? This is mid-September right now while I'm filming this, and I think I started seeing the fall autumn knitting plans start up in August, like mid-August, I think. So I want to talk about my inspiration for my autumn knitting plans first. Very short and sweet. My first inspiration is, or my first like inspiration slash goal is to use yarn from my yarn stash, because I am trying really hard to work through my stash of yarn. This year has been okay. I have definitely bought yarn this year, but not as much as I've bought in previous years. As you can see, I still have like all this behind me, and there's some up further up in the closet here. I think in total I have like 80 or 90 units of yarn in skein form or cake form or something. And then I have all my scraps across the room there. Anyways, and then at my place I have probably over 100, possibly 200 units of yarn. Anyways, okay, all that to say, inspirations and goals. I'm finding inspiration from the yarns that I have in my stash, and my goal is to use as much from my stash as possible. I think there's only one project on this list that I have to buy yarn for, and it's to match yarn that I already have in my stash. And my other inspiration slash goal is my own wardrobe. I'm looking to create pieces that will fit into my aesthetic, I guess. I wouldn't say I'm a particularly stylish person. I certainly feel a lot more, I don't know, trendy. Well, okay, not trendy. I just feel better in my knitwear, like when I'm wearing my knit sweaters or cardigans or shawls or anything like that. I feel good in those. The rest of my wardrobe is very basic stuff. So I went through my wardrobe and I kind of picked out an outfit that I would wear with each of these patterns. And so I'm hoping to get the pictures on the screen of the outfits that I plan to wear or plan to use to style the projects that I'm gonna knit this autumn. Okay, so that's a lot of talking right off the bat. Let's get into the patterns that I'm going to knit. And I'll start with the first cardigan I want to knit is Trinigan, and that is by Andrea Mowry. And so the reason why I chose this pattern was because this was a pattern design that I chose that was inspired from the yarn first. So I have this yarn in stash. This is Mountain Colors hand-painted yarns, and I believe the base is called Twizzle. It is 85% merino wool and 15% silk. 250 yards per skein, and so that makes it like a DK weight, but like DK Sport. But I think I can get away with, I don't know. I really want to use this. The pattern itself asks for worsted, but I think I can make this work. So it's got this sort of variegated color throughout. It reminds me of the spin cycle yarns. So when I was looking for patterns for this yarn specifically, or this type of yarn, I remembered that Andrea Mowry works with spin cycle for a good amount of patterns. And so originally I thought I might do the night shift shawl with this, but I just don't really see myself wearing a shawl with the color changes and stuff. I'm more of a solid color accessory wearing person. So I went through Andrea Mowry's patterns and found Trinigan, which is a drop shoulder cardigan. It's worked from the bottom up, and it's 2-color mosaic. So you have one color changing yarn like this, or you can use a solid color, that's fine too. But I think your contrast color is the variegated one, sorry, and then your main color is a solid color. Anyway, so it is, what did I say? It's knit bottom up, So you're knitting it flat, back and forth, and then I guess you split for the front and the back, and then you, I think there's, okay, so in the picture, there's a shoulder detail, and maybe I'll put it up on the screen as well, that I'm not super fond of. I don't know the way that it's like seamed together if I'm going to do what she's done in the pattern. I don't have the pattern currently. It's one of the patterns that I haven't bought yet. But I'm certain that once I get to that point in the pattern, I will be able to decide. I think what I will probably do, and what I've done in the past with bottom-up constructions that are drop shoulders and stuff, is I just do a 3-needle bind off and call it a day. I just don't really like the seam, like the detail on the shoulder seam in this pattern particularly. So anyways, so we'll see when I get there to that point. But like I said, I don't have this is the contrast color, so I don't have the main color yet for this pattern. And I'm actually planning, I'm going to a yarn shop in a couple of days. I'm not sure what the main color is going to be, because in each of these skeins, there's just barely hints of some green. There's more purples and blues, and I'm wondering if I should pull from the blue or if I should pull from the purple. I have a white t-shirt and some baggy jeans that, like, they got like rips and tears in them. I don't even know. I don't think those are in like style anymore, but whatever. I wear what I want to wear. And so I have a white t-shirt with these baggy jeans, and I think the overall look I'm going for is just a relaxed fit, a relaxed look. And the Trinigan cardigan is an oversized cardigan. It doesn't have buttons for it to close, which I like. I just like the effortless look to it. So that's the vibe I'm going for. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about that pattern. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next cardigan I want to knit is the Carly cardigan, and this is by Irene. And if you've been around for a while, you know that I am kind of obsessed with Irene's patterns. I think her design aesthetic, like the way that just her patterns in general and her design work in general, is totally my vibes. It totally fits my, I don't know, just the style that I'm going for. And so the Carly cardigan is an all-over cable and texture cardigan, which I'm all about texture and cables for sure. And so the Carly cardigan comes in 2 styles. So you can knit it with you can knit the cardigan with the sleeves, or she has a sleeveless version that kind of looks like, I don't know, it's got a different vibe to it, and I'm kind of digging it. So the pattern itself is knit top down, and it looks like a drop shoulder. I actually own this pattern. I bought it when it came out, and I haven't looked through the pattern itself, but I do know it's top down. I believe you knit the back piece first, and then you go back and pick up for the left front and the right front. And it has a shoulder detail that, instead of going straight across the back, it kind of has like an arch, which I think is interesting. I've not seen that much of a curve in the back piece of a sweater or a cardigan. So I'm interested to see how that will wear and how it will feel to wear, something like the fit of it, I guess. And so I'm torn on whether to do the full sleeve version or to do the sleeveless, oh my gosh, my words today, or the sleeveless version. It also has pockets, which I'm actually excited about. So the outfit that I picked out for this pattern, I actually took pictures of me wearing it with my woodstone wrap, because I'm knitting it. I want to knit the Carly cardigan out of the same yarn as my woodstone wrap. And so I'll put the picture on the screen here. Basically, it's a kind of like a burgundy dress. It doesn't really have much shape to it. It's kind of like potato sacky. And so I wear it with a belt to kind of cinch it in the waist. And I feel like this color of yarn really enhances the whole outfit. The yarn I want to use is Estelle Eco Shetland Worsted. held together with Estelle Alpaca Whisper. And so I believe the Eco Shetland worsted is 100% organic Shetland wool, and it's really nice. I just love this color. I think it's caramel for both of them. And it looks really nice held together with the Alpaca Whisper. I really enjoyed working with this on my woodstone wrap. The Alpaca Whisper is 54% baby alpaca, 24% mulberry silk, and 22% super kid mohair. And it's so soft and squishy. I love it. And so I'm really looking forward to casting this on. However, I won't be casting this on until October because, just a quick side note, I'll talk about it more in a future video, but Faith from Fiber Fables and I are planning to do another Irene Lynn cal this year, and that will likely be running from October 1st until December 31st. But we haven't like officially announced it yet, but that's something that you can look forward to. In the next couple weeks, I'm sure we'll both be posting videos going into more detail about that. The next pattern I want to knit is kind of it's a cardigan, but it's called a jacket. So I guess like a jacket cardigan. So this is the jacket number 2 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I think with this pattern, I was actually inspired by those twins who knit. I watched their podcast recently, I think like a week or 2 ago, and one of them was knitting the jacket number 2, and I was like, I want that. That is exactly what I want, and the yarn that I have I think would be perfect for it. I think. We'll see. Again, haven't gauge swatched, so that's a problem for future me. So the jacket number 2 is a top-down drop shoulder cardigan, or jacket, I should say. It's got a V-neck that I believe it looks like it's double knit. It's a double knit button band. So it's buttoned up in the front, and it's all over cables with a cable detail on the shoulder, like going across the back. So I'm really excited about that. I love having those extra details along the, like basically where the shoulders meet the back, like where the shoulders meet from the front to the back. I love having like extra details like that. And when I was looking through the pictures, it looks like there's like a cable that goes across the back. So I'm not sure how that's formed. Again, this is another pattern I haven't bought yet. I have it in my shopping cart because I'm planning on buying a couple more patterns by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Anyways, I do like the way that she writes her patterns. I find them, oh yeah, I think I have the sweater number 1 as well. That one in particular, I'll say, is very bare bones. But the T number 1, because I think sweater number 1 was one of the first patterns that she released, so it's very basic, very straightforward. Anyways, and then the T number 1 was a little bit more informative in terms of like directions. And so I imagine this is, I couldn't find this pattern on Ravelry, and I'm not sure if that's because I was not looking in the right place on her profile, or like in her designer profile. So I had to go to her website to look at pictures and stuff. Anyways, so the yarn that I want to use for this is stash yarn, this Filotti Merino Sport, and there's no way this is a sport weight yarn. I think that's just the name. It is a very bouncy yarn. But I have like 22 balls of this, or like little donuts of this, and it's machine washable, so I guess it's super wash. It is, which one's English? Pure merino wool super wash. And I got this from a D-stash from someone who probably has had this yarn for quite some time. And, oh, what is it? It's 50 gram balls, 65 meters. Yeah. And I've got 22, maybe 25 of these. And the outfit that I put together for this, I mean, I think I put together 2 outfits, if I remember correctly. One was just jeans and a t-shirt. I think this is like a nice casual look to have an oversized jacket cardigan. But the outfit I'm most excited about is my long black pleated skirt that has a slit in it, and I have like kind of a dress shirt that has a little tie at the top. I don't know what it is. I feel like that with this jacket in this color would just be amazing, I think. I hope that like the vision I have in my head is a classy, feminine, stylish look, I guess is what I'm going for. Again, I'm not super like on trend and stuff like that, so I just knit or I wear what feels comfortable and what makes me feel good, I guess. So anyways, that's the idea I had for the jacket number 2. The next pattern I'm going to talk about is also a My Favorite Things knitwear design, and this is sweater number 20, and this one is actually not for me. This is a sweater I'm knitting for my younger sister. It is a top-down drop shoulder V-neck sweater with all over cables, and the yarn I plan to use was so kindly purchased by my younger sister, and so it was, I mean, knitting for an entire sweater's quantity when you're holding heavy merino together with the soft silk mohair, that can get pretty expensive. And I think I'm going to be knitting the smallest size, and according to the size, the amount of yardage we needed for the sweater for my younger sister, for her size, the smallest size, it was like almost $300 worth of yarn, if not slightly over $300 Canadian of yarn, because this was, what is this? This was $13.95 for each one of these, and I think we had to get 10 or 11, and the soft silk mohair was $16.95, and I believe we had to get 6 or 7 of these, so it was, yeah. So my sister really wants a like luxurious, all over cabled or like relaxed fit sweater, and this is definitely her color. This is, I believe it's Snowflake. Yeah, it's Snowflake for both the heavy merino and the soft silk. And so holding these together is going to be really nice. I have knit with the heavy merino before, and I loved it. I really liked it, and I would love to knit with the regular merino, like the thinner one. I think is it a fingering weight or a sport weight, DK weight? Not sure. This is considered a worsted weight. So I'm really excited to knit this pattern, and I think if I have time this autumn, I will probably knit the sweater for myself, but in other yarn that I have in my stash. So I don't have an outfit. I didn't pick out an outfit for the sweater because I'm not knitting this particular one for myself, and I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if I'll get around to being able to knit the sweater for myself. So yeah, so I don't have a extra outfit inspiration for this one. The next pattern is going to be, again, we're getting back to knits for myself. So the next one is the Bay Wrap sweater, and this is by Shayla Kang. And this one is an interesting one. I guess ever since I started knitting, and ever since I started like knitting other people's patterns, I've kind of lived a little bit on the wild side, where I tend to every once in a while purchase a pattern from a designer that may have like 1 or 2 designs, or the project might only have like 1 or 2 projects. Basically like lesser known designers and lesser known patterns. I feel like this is one of them, because if I remember correctly, when I looked at the project pages, there was only one. And the sweater itself, the pictures the designer has on the pattern page, they look really nice. I like the overall look. I was specifically looking for a wrap sweater, one that does not have a tie. This one is basically knit flat, and then you cross it over, and then you attach it to knit the hem, like the ribbing. So this pattern is, I think, the most expensive pattern on my list right now. I think it was the most expensive pattern in general, and this is from a designer that I've never knit anything from, and who I think only has a handful of designs and not very many patterns on the pattern pages. Anyways, $12.75 Canadian. So it was, I feel like I'm taking a risk here. When I read the pattern description, it did warn me that it's very minimal in terms of wording, and it's mostly charted. And so I downloaded the pattern and I took a look at it, and I'm like, wow, yeah, oh yeah. It's basically like, here's point form. Okay, it wasn't point form. It was like, here is kind of like the gist of what you're going to do, and then follow the charts. And the charts, the way that they are, the charts, like, she has the full chart on the page from like one side to the textured repeat, the whole thing, and then the other side. And so usually when it comes to charts where there's like a repeat in the middle, the chart is small in the sense that, like, you have the left side, the right side, and then once you get to the repeat, it's like, you know, the 8 stitch, 10 stitch, 20 stitch repeat, and it's just got a box around it, and it just says to repeat that until this many stitches or the next marker, and then you do the left side. But the way that the charts are, the way that I remember seeing them last night when I downloaded the pattern, is it's the whole thing's charted. The whole textured part, all 50 some odd stitches or whatever. So the chart is really tiny. Like, it feels like it's very squished on the page, and so I'm hoping that I can just kind of, I don't know, maybe copy and paste the picture of the chart and just kind of split the right from the left and then make my own little repeat section. But anyways, so this pattern features cables and texture, and I just really liked the look of this, and I just wanted it. The other thing I'll say is I believe the pattern was originally in Korean, because the English translation, I think it was translated from Korean to English, because there's some Korean characters sprinkled throughout the English written instructions, or like not the charts, but the written instructions, where there's some Korean characters. So I feel like I'm advanced enough as a knitter that I can use context to figure out what's going on if something's not complete on the pattern. So I will say, fair warning, the pattern, I haven't knit it, but I have looked at the pattern itself. I bought the pattern. It's very sparse in terms of written instructions. So the yarn that I plan to use for this is the sheepies. So it's this yarn, the Scrumptious. You can see the color. It's kind of like a, I don't know, the name of the colorway does not, I don't know. It's called Chocolate Berry Mug Cake. And I feel like it's more of a, I guess it's kind of like a gray, brown, purple. I don't know. On camera, it's kind of actually looking more like a purpley brown. Like, not purple, but, you know, like that kind of muted purple. But in person, like, it looks a lot more purple to me. Like purple and gray. Anyways, so I have like 4 of these, I think, which I believe will be enough according to the yardage on them, on these and the pattern. Yeah, so the outfit I picked for this, what did I pick for this? I think I have 2 skirts. I have a gray skirt that I don't know. Now that I'm looking at the color, I'm wondering if the gray skirt will be too close in color to this, like too close in the same color family. But anyways, so I've got a gray skirt that I wear with black tights, and I have another skirt that's kind of like it's a black skirt with the pleated sheer fabric over the top of the black slip, I guess. You'll see it in the picture. But I feel like this wrap sweater would be really cute over skirts and possibly some dresses. I mean, I own a dozen dresses and a dozen skirts, and so I'm sure I could fit this in with a lot of what I own, but those 2 skirts were specifically what I picked out for this pattern. What else can I say? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing this pattern. I think this might be the first thing I cast on. In fact, I was thinking about doing a project vlog on this pattern specifically because it is from a lesser known designer. The pattern itself is a little bit bare bones in terms of written instructions, And I feel like it would be interesting to, what's the word? Document my experience with this pattern and give my thoughts and opinions, I guess, on purchasing, like taking a leap of faith and purchasing a pattern from a designer that you've never heard of, or a pattern that has like no projects on Ravelry. So anyways, so that's that. I'll move on to the next sweater now. I think I said everything I needed to say about that one. The next sweater I want to knit is one that I've already knit in the past. In fact, I've knit it 3 times. And it is the Harlow Sweater V-neck, and this is by Caidree. This pattern I knit 3 times. Once for myself, once for my younger sister, and once for my sister-in-law. And that was all last year. It was kind of like a whole thing. I was going to film a video, vlog thing, but never got around to it. I just knit the sweaters and gave them to my sisters. Anyways, so the Harlow Sweater V-neck is a top-down drop shoulder. There's a lot of drop shoulder and V-necks in my autumn plans. Top-down drop shoulder V-neck split hem, and it's got a really nice shoulder detail where you pick up the like you start out with an I-cord, and then you pick up the back, and then you pick up the front, left and right, which creates this really nice kind of braided detail across the back, which I really like the look of. Actually, I have the sweater here. I have the one that I knit for myself. So this is the one that I knit for myself, and the outfit I put together was essentially just a pair of jeans. I mean, this is such a cozy sweater. I anticipate wearing it with either light colored leggings or my blue jeans, because the yarn I'm going to use is darker. But anyways, the shoulder detail that I'm talking about is this right here. It looks really nice. Sorry, I'm gonna like get my face out of there. But yeah, so it goes across the back, and I believe I knit the size medium, which fits me well. My only thing with this pattern is that the V-neck comes down very low. So the modification I will make to this, I will try to make, is either I might knit a smaller size, or when I knit the I think what I might have to do is when I pick up the front left and right is, it looks like, I think I would just have to pick up more stitches on the shoulder in order to do the decreases so that the V-neck ends higher up. But we'll see when I get to it how I feel, because I think I might actually try and knit the small size. The yarn that I plan to use is Lion Brand Heartland, and it's got this like charcoal heathered black look to it, which is similar to what I'm wearing right now. And like I said in my last video, I've discovered that like plain black washes me out, and so having this sort of more heathered charcoal color is more in my wheelhouse. And this is called, the colorway is called Black Canyon. I think I've got 6 or 7 balls of this. And I bought it maybe 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year, I'm not sure. I have a whole bag of like acrylic yarns that I would like to knit sweaters out of to give away. But this one specifically, I want to knit for myself, because I do want, like after having knit the Ferndale in this color yarn, I really want a sweater in this, because I just really want it. So like I said, the way I would style this is with jeans, or I have some light colored leggings, and yeah, it's just gonna be like a really relaxed look, a relaxed fit. So that's it for cardigans and sweaters. And now the next piece of clothing I want to knit is the Sporty Knit Skort, and this is a pattern by Florence Miller, and this is a pattern that I already own, and I have knit the skirt portion of the pattern. I omitted the skort, like the shorts inside, because I didn't have enough yarn. And this, okay, I'll show what I've done already, like the skirt that I knit, which is the front and the back. Okay, so this is the skirt that I've already knit, and it does not have the shorts inside. I did not have enough yarn, but I did not measure myself correctly when I did the waistband, This is actually an inch too big for my waist. In fact, I think it's 2 inches too big because it just sits on my waist. It just doesn't give the look that I was hoping for. Yeah, I think I just measured myself wrong or something. In any case, so this is knit top down. It's all in one piece, so top down, and then you go back and you pick up, I believe you pick up through the edge here to knit the shorts inside. And I, like I said, did not have enough yarn to knit the shorts, so I just knit the skirt, and I wear this over a pair of like black tights. And so there is a picture that Florence has on her designer page, or the pattern page, that she's wearing a white t-shirt, black tights, and a gray skirt. And I love that look. I think it's so, it just looks so good. And so that's kind of what I was going for in like the picture that either I have already shown on the screen or I will show on the screen. Because I have a white t-shirt, black tights, and a gray skirt. Anyways, so I love this skirt. However, I really want a pink one. I think a pink skirt would be absolutely cute. Okay, so the yarn that I plan to use is this Loops and Threads wool-like. I have a bunch of, I went a little bit crazy and bought a bunch of this stuff. I have more like sitting behind me here, but I have enough of the pink to knit the full skirt and the Skort shorts part. And so I've knit with this color. I have like 3 bralettes in this color, and I think I knit my Fiola in this, held double, like I held the yarn double, and I knit, I think it was called the Serendipity wrap, like a long time ago in this yarn. And this is the color Rose. And it's just, I love this color. It's like a dusty pink. And I think this in a skirt would be really cute with a white t-shirt. I don't know. I'm dreaming of all the cute outfits I could put together with this. Just with or without black tights. I mean, maybe I could wear, I don't know. I only own 1 pair of leggings, or sorry, of tights, and they're black. So maybe I should branch out and look at different colors. I'm not sure. I don't generally wear tights. But anyways, what else can I say about this pattern? I am looking forward to knitting this pattern again. I really enjoyed how Florence wrote the pattern. It's very size inclusive, and it's very much a mindless knit. It's just like ribbing for days, essentially, with increases incrementally throughout the length of the skirt. And there's short row shaping at the back as well. Oh, I put it on the floor. There's short row shaping in the back to accommodate, like you can probably see the line of the short rows here, to accommodate, you know, your butt, essentially. So I really like that. And like I said, I didn't knit the shorts, like the insert, or like picked up and knit the shorts on the inside. So I am curious to see how that will go, because I've never knit shorts. I own the Ripple Butt shorts by Jessie May Designs, and I didn't get past the waistband, so I don't know exactly how it's constructed, so I can't speak on that. Like how Florence has it constructed in hers. I believe it's like from the top down, so you're knitting from the waist down for the shorts, because it's all knit in one piece, I imagine. It's picking up stitches and then knitting down. Anyways, okay, so that's it for garments that I want to knit this autumn. The next, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 5 patterns that I want to talk about, sorry, the next 4 patterns I want to talk about are accessories. And so I'll start with the half and half triangles wrap by Purl Soho. This is another pattern that I'm like really late to the game on. I feel like the half and half triangles wrap was such a huge thing in the knitting world for a while. It was either at the beginning of this year or last year, or I don't know. At some point I remember seeing everyone had one cast on, or 2 or 3, or they were on their 4th or 5th one. I was like, that's a lot of knitting back and forth. Anyways, so it's a 2-color wrap. It's like a big square, and you knit 1 triangle at a time, and it's all in one piece. And so oh, and then it's shaped using short rows, which I believe she uses wrap and turns, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm sure I could work it out. But Anyways, the yarn that I plan to use is yarn that I got from Knit City 7 years ago. It's almost 7 years ago to the day. So this one's 100% Peruvian tweed scoured alpaca is what the label says, or what the label says. And then this other one says it is 100% prime alpaca scoured. So it's kind of like a charcoaly brown almost, I guess. It's not black, it's definitely brown, but it's like a heathered brown. I don't know. It's really nice though. And I think I'm going to pair them together. So one half of the triangle will be this marled gray, and the other half will be this dark charcoal brown heathered thing. According to the pattern, I do not have enough yards. I do not have enough yardage, meterage, yarn in general, because the way it works is you cast on the total amount of stitches, and then you're like doing your short rows or whatever. And so it's not like you're starting with a little bit and working to a halfway point and then decreasing like a, what are those called? Like you from point to point kind of thing. Anyways, and so I'll have to figure out how many stitches to cast on what needle size, because the pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, and I believe this is more of like a DK Sport, maybe. In any case, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of math, a little bit of preparation. There's more yardage on this dark one than there is on the marled one. And so what I think I might do is do a gauge swatch with this yarn and maybe figure out the math on that. I think these two colors together, depending on how I style the wrap, I could either have it so it's just showing the dark color, just showing the light color, or like a little bit of the both. So I feel like it's versatile in the way that I can style it with my clothing or like with my outfit. For my accessories, I didn't put together outfit inspirations because I plan to wear my accessories with multiple different outfits. I don't think there's any one particular outfit that's going to, I don't know. Anyways. So that is the half and half triangles wrap. Okay, so the next pattern I want to knit is the Musselburgh, and this is by Ysolda Teague. And I'm planning on knitting 2 of these. I bought yarn, so this pattern I specifically bought yarn for from Knit City last year. So I've had this yarn for a year. Well, let me talk about how the pattern is constructed. Basically, the Musselburgh has instructions for anywhere between a light fingering to a DK weight yarn. And it is knit from like end to end. So you start with a center out cast on, I think is what it was called. So you start from one end with like a few stitches and you increase to make the crown. And then once you get to a certain point to fit your head, I believe she gives you all the measurements and stuff, depending on your gauge, how many stitches and how long you knit the tube of stockinette. And then at the other end, you do decreases on the crown. And at the very end, after you've weaved in your ends, you fold it in on itself. And so, anyways, let's talk about the yarn. So the first one I want to knit is going to be knit out of ginger snap yarns. And this is, I believe the colorway is called Onyx, and it's on their Lush Fingering base. This is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I wanted to pick a black, like this looks like it's got like a red, almost like a red undertone. Or what is that called? Like, I feel like the base of this was red, and then like, I don't know anything about dyeing, but maybe it's like a red based black dye. I'm not entirely sure, but I wanted a dark yarn, black, and this was it. And so the first Musselburgh I plan to cast on is this, because I feel like you can't go wrong with a black toque, a black beanie, black hat, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like that'll go with many things in my wardrobe, many outfits. It'll be like my go-to hat this year, I think, I hope. Maybe I should cast this on sooner than later. The other yarn I want to use for another hat, another Musselburgh, is this, what is it called? This was a Knit City exclusive. So, well, not really exclusive. This is a yarn that they only do at shows and they don't stock in their shop. But this is Midnight Cravings, and this is their silky sock base. So it's 75% superwash merino and 25% mulberry silk. And the colorway is called Serenade, and oh my god, I love this pink. But, I just want a plain stockinette toque for the winter, or sorry, for the autumn, and obviously also into the winter. The next one is a pattern that I already own and I've knit before. This is the Cable Dad Mittens, and this is by Alexis Winslow. And this is a pattern that comes with 3 different styles, and I think 3 different sizes. It's, I think the pattern information says that it's like a unisex style mittens, so good for men, women, everything in between. And so it's got 3 styles. There is the fingerless mitts, the full mittens, and then there's the one where it's like the half fingers, like the half gloves. Not full fingers, but yeah, like up to the first knuckle kind of thing. I don't know what that's called, like half gloves with like the convertible mitten top thing. I'll post pictures so you can understand what I'm trying to say. And so the yarn that I want to use for this is also by Midnight Cravings, and this is on their Hardy worsted base, and this is the Spice Latte colorway, and I love it. So it's kind of like a beige base with these speckles of like yellowish orange, red, and teal, and looks like there's some burgundy and brown, like burgundy or brown in there. But I initially knit this up in a hat, didn't like it, and I think knitting this up in gloves would be appropriate. I think what I might do is knit I think I have enough yarn on here to knit not the fingerless one, the glove style one, but without the convertible flap. I've yet to knit gloves with the separate finger pieces, so we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I get there. Maybe I'll knit the full mitten. I'm not sure. I think this pattern is also kind of, what's the word? Like easy to modify. I might put a cable down the center of it instead of the design that's on it currently. Yeah, we'll see when I get there. Okay, so let's move on to the last project for the autumn. And this is the Hearthome socks, and this is by Wool and Pine. And they're knit from the cuff down with a folded cuff, which I suppose is optional. I'm definitely going to do. And it has an I-cord with little pom-poms that you can also optionally add, and I think that looks super cute. So obviously I'm going to add that. And then it's got cables down the front. But yeah, I plan to use more stash yarn. I've got 2.5 balls of Patton's Classic Wool Worsted. And this is the colorway Erin. I knit my Ran vest out of this, and I really liked working with it. It is 100% pure new wool, so it has a little bit of a toothy bite to it, I guess. I want to knit these slippers, or sorry, not slippers, sorry. These socks, they're labeled as socks, but they look like slippers. Slipper socks. Anyways, I want them to be like my at-home cozy socks that I wear when I'm like knitting on the couch or knitting in bed. Kind of more like bed socks, I guess, so that I can keep them from from getting dirty. But I really like this. I think I put this in my favorites some time ago, like maybe a year ago. I was looking for like gift ideas, and I think if I like these enough for myself, I might actually knit these socks for multiple family members. I think. But I really like the cable design on it. I like the cables going down the front, and I think they just look super cozy, and I kind of want them in many colors, but again, they're just for like around the house. They're more for looks than actual wear. Like I definitely don't plan to wear them outside. I don't even wear my fingering weight socks that I've knit outside my house, except for very special occasions, which happen to be fiber festivals. That's the only place I actually wear my knitted socks because I'm too precious with them. But anyways, yeah, so these Hearthome socks I'm excited to knit. I think that might be the next pattern. What is it? No, I said I was going to do the triangles wrap, the bay wrap sweater. Yeah, and I could cast on those socks as well. I can have a couple things on the needles, but anyways, I'm looking at the time on this video and it is really, really long. I'm at an hour. So I think, well, that's all the patterns that I have to discuss. I don't remember if there's anything else I wanted to say. I'm hoping that this video wasn't too all over the place and perhaps, I don't know, I just, now I'm feeling a little self-conscious that it's gotten so long. I might have gone off on a few tangents. I'll try and edit out what I can to make the video a little bit shorter, if possible. But, yeah. Hopefully you found maybe some inspiration in this video. Like I said at the beginning, my main focus for my autumn knitting plans, or my two main focuses, is one, use as much from my yarn stash as possible without having to buy yarn. So I'm only buying yarn for one project, and it's only the main color, which I think if I remember correctly, I need to buy 5 or 6 balls of yarn for that. So that won't be too bad. That's like maybe $50 to $80 worth of yarn, depending on the brand I buy. And then my second focus was to find pieces that will fit into my wardrobe, like specifically find outfits that I want to pair with these projects. And so I'm hoping that at the end of this, okay, let me rewind. I'm hoping by the winter solstice, which is December 21st, that I will have completed all 12 of these projects. And then I can do like maybe a review video in December, or I guess it might be not until January, about all the things I knit this fall. So that might be something fun. What else do I have to say? I'm going to be visiting a yarn store this week. So I'm hoping to get some pictures or video footage of that and to put that into my next video. So we have that to look forward to. And yeah, I do have a list a mile long of videos that I would like to film and what I would like to post on my channel. So we'll see if I can actually stick to things this time, because I said that I was going to do that over the summer. And I don't know, time just got away from me. I just got busy and I just wasn't making time for videos and stuff. So, which is fine. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for getting this far into the video. I mean, like, wow, it's an hour long, and now I'm blabbering. So thanks for sticking around. I hope you found some inspiration in this video, and if you're still here, leave a comment below if you want to share about your fall or autumn knitting plans. What are you looking forward to this fall or autumn? I mean, it's the same thing. Fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it. I was just calling it autumn. So yeah, let me know down below what you're planning to work on this autumn. And yeah, just share some patterns or share some designers that you're into at the moment. I always love seeing what other people are up to. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm going to go now before I continue blathering on. Yes. Thanks again, and until next time, happy knitting!